Hey, what's going on? Good afternoon. My bad. Good afternoon. It's Friday afternoon, I should say. So happy Friday to everyone. And again, before we start anything, I wanna say thanks for supporting me. Who's out there that supported me? I think we need more young men and women that think in a way that I think that that want to ask questions, want to know what's going on, want to be knowledgeable to what we are talking about. Want to understand not just my side of my perspective, other people's perspective, and we do our research so we can understand what are we talking about. And I just want to make people know, let people understand that I'm going to always bring it to you. I'm not going to be that type of guy that's going to, you know, you're going to hear everything that you hear from mainstream media that I think is a bunch of propaganda, especially as a black man, as a black American person in this society. I'm gonna always make sure you guys give, have the opportunity to not just see the scope of what they want you to see, and things that I value, and that's being a protector, a provider, and a protector of my family, and understanding this society, and thinking logically to what we need to think about to understand. And if anybody has a rebuttal, I'm going to go about it. If I see that is something that I need to know, that I need to understand, I'm going to I'm going to look at it. And if I'm wrong, I'm going to put it in that perspective of understanding that I was wrong. And I'm going to tell people that I'm wrong. But once it becomes a situation where I give you my facts and you give me your facts, and then you might not agree with my facts, but they are facts, then I will, and then you're being condescending, disrespectful, then I'm not going to go the route that you're going. I'm more than likely going to delete you. You know what I'm saying? Unless you go into a, real disrespectful situation. But if you're talking all that bull, that, it's okay, because, man, for the most part, people do talk bull. But this is going to be another video. Again, I'm sorry about that. Before I go any further, once again, I want to thank everyone for supporting uh, my platform that I have, Dream Big Podcast. And again, like I said before, I'm hoping to get more, more people coming on that again, having conversations. No matter if you agree with me or you don't, or you do agree with me, I still want you on. So anyway, I want to talk about, excuse me, what everyone else is talking about with Breonna Taylor, the murder case that only one cop got charged, and it was charging for shooting another neighbor's house or what have you. But I really want to talk about, as I talked about in the last video, on black men protecting their daughters so they won't have to meet men like Kenneth Walker. That is Breonna Taylor boyfriend. I'm not going to even tell you the history that I discovered by researching Breonna Taylor. I don't even want to even put her into this mind frame situation. I will let you look at a video that I was looking at. I will let that happen. But I just want to discuss one thing that nobody is talking about. No one. I mean, no one. I don't see no. I see. You know what? I should not. I should not say that. I do see people that have a logical, rational mindset talking about this, especially black men and black women. That big problem that we are having within our community is that no one's talking about the drugs that's being sold, the drug use. Our young women, and older women are dating males that's putting them in situations that they may not want to be. I should say may or may not want to be in. but they still get in these situations. And I think, in my opinion, that if people, women like Breonna Taylor had a father figure from the jump that taught her the basic needs of what a real man would desire to give her, and the knowledge that a real man will give her, to not want to be in a relationship that might not be to the best of her, to the best of her welfare, you know. And I'm getting a lot of people getting mad at me. Like, people really are saying, what happened? What's wrong with Kenneth Walker? He protected her. She was sleeping. He started shooting when the cops just barged in their door. But evidence debunked all that. Evidence debunked it. Point blank. Evidence debunked it. All of what they tried to, all of what the propaganda tried to tell the average person that's not going to look at, that's not going to be rational when speaking on a very serious case and topic. It was many people, telling me this. Like, I'm like, what are you talking about? Just because they listen to these fake woke athletes, these fake woke, networks like ESPN, aka MSESPN, and MSNBC, CNN, all these people that's not trying to hear facts. That's all about chaos and disorder. That's telling people to fear for their lives and not being honest with people. Of course, people, even, I want to break it on this point. When you're doing something illegally, something bound to happen. Something is going to happen to you. Okay? When a person try to tell me because I'm a black man, and they look at me like, oh, he probably are doing something illegally. Even other black people. And I say this because they said, yo, what if, that was your daughter, or, what if the cops kill you? No. And I say, no, the cops, I'm not really worried about the cops, because I got a 95% chance of dying at the hands of some other black man. If we're going to be real, I got a 1.9% chance of dying at the hands of cops. And that's just because that's a percentage, because I'm not committing any crimes. I mean, if I'm committing some crimes, that percentage is gonna jump to 15.5%. Might as well say 16%. If I'm living in a way of a lifestyle that you either dead or in jail, absolutely, you're absolutely right. But I'm not. I know even certain black people, especially the boulets, I know you see me as a person that maybe, that I might get that way or what have you, or I was in that situation in my lifetime, and maybe I was and maybe I wasn't. But what you have to understand is, we're talking about what's going on. It's a big picture here. And you trying to make every black man feel as though they could be in that situation. And that obviously isn't the truth. But if you listen to fake woke LeBron James and Marxist Colin Kaepernick and all other fake woke celebrities and fake woke people on social media, you're going to think all black men got a better chance of getting killed by the police. That's illogical, illogical thinking, as usual. You're not thinking in a way that's rational, and you feel as though that's the proper answer, that all black men got a huge chance of getting killed by some police officer. And maybe something going on in your brain, I don't know. I really don't care. I'm here for people that actually want to understand logic and being rational as they try to understand it. I'm not here for you to try to think like me. I'm here for you to get another interpretation. And this interpretation will be, eligible for logic and, eligible for actual being sane. You know what I'm saying? Eligible as living your life in a realistic standpoint. And this is the problem of what's going on in this society. I keep on saying it, especially in poverty societies. People are acting like victims, but the people that's rational, they know when they're in circumstances that they shouldn't be in, something is bound to happen. So again, I want to keep on, I want to bring it on to Mr. Kenneth Walker, the boyfriend of the late Breonna Taylor, and how Black men should understand that they need to make sure they protect their children. I know, especially Black men that's actually doing something for their kids. That's actually, and it's a lot of us, it's many of us. I think we do more for our children than any other non-Black person. This is just my opinion, because we actually are there for our children more. Being as though society and super liberal, fake woke media outlets and celebrities and people on social media will tell you Black men is not stepping up. Yes, we are stepping up, being as though it's a whole lot of obstacles in our way to protect our children so they won't be in situations like Breonna Taylor was by dating males like Kenneth Walker. But people don't want to hear that shit. People not talking about this. So-called educated people, so-called people that call themselves being sane, not thinking of the big picture, not saying to themselves, okay, what's the outcome for this not happening to our women ever again, to put themselves in that situations, and not just our women, because that's what people like fake woke LeBron James will tell you, that the most unprotected person in this country, in the world, is Black women. That's an extreme lie. Not in this country. Definitely not in this country. But again, if you wanna cakewalk on wokeism, do your thing, but no facts, because those comments aren't facts. Our children are the most unprotected. I could show you hundreds of videos where our children is not being protected by the man or woman. I could show you on circumstances that I had in my life that I saw that our children is not protected in this society. Just point blank. I can show you that all day. But if you want to do what people like LeBron James and other fake woke entertainers or athletes are doing, if you want to be in a popular club, you're going to say what's popular. You're going to say it. It's cool. It's great. I mean, you can say all that, but it's a problem. I'm sorry. It's not cool at all, because a lot of our children are thinking this way. Allow our children that's not being protected in the right way, either mentally or physically, they thinking like, God damn. Well, I guess LeBron James said the Black woman is not being protected. It's the least protected in the world and in this society. What the hell? Okay, I'm sorry. I guess I need to shut myself up now that I know that I can't call into nobody, because everybody worried about the grown woman that can actually that makes her own decisions on who the hell she encounters and who she around and stuff like that. again, I'm not going to, the evidence that I seen from the Louisiana CSI that you guys can go see as well. Maybe one day, but sometimes when you in that mentally unstable mindset, you don't want to see shit. You believe what you want to believe. You're going to believe what you want to believe. Fuck facts, and that's how it's going to be. I understand. It's great. It's cool. But what I'm going to do, guys, right now, I'm going to show you some of this video, and then we're going to go from there. I'm going to chime in on it. Hold on a second. Where we at? Here we go. Here we go. Let me see. I'm just going to put it.
There was a reporter who actually asked him and said, you know, we've interviewed a lot of people in that apartment complex ourselves, and we weren't able to find anyone, maybe save one person, that said they heard the police announce themselves. Is that sufficient? So at what point, Keir, you know, is the evidence that was brought to the grand jury, you know, who gets to decide if that was a sufficient announcement?
Right. So this is why jury trials become so important, why it's so important to have witnesses in the courtroom under examination, under cross-examination. Effectively, if I understand the facts, Mr. Walker, Breonna Taylor's boyfriend, said that there was no announcement by the police. So you have one witness saying that. You have the police officers, if I understood correctly what the Attorney General said, saying that they did knock and announce. And you have this this third witness, a third party, this civilian witness outside saying that he or she heard also the police knock and announce. Credibility determinations are made in court and, you know, at a trial. Now, whether or not,
real quick, guys, did you hear that? It was three total witnesses stating that they heard the knock and announce. Being as though in Louisiana, that's a fucking nutty law, says that you don't even have to knock. You just go in. But three witnesses saying that they did knock and they were announced. I know you heard from 99.9% of liberal media, the wokey woke media, wokey woke celebrities, wokey woke, social media idiots tell you that they didn't knock to just barge in. But these are just facts. How you get facts, how you investigate. This is just facts. I'm sorry, guys.
That particular issue will come up and will be part of the testimony in Mr. Hankinson's trial, because he was charged with with that wantonness crime. Whether we'll see that evidence at a trial, it's possible we will. But when you have conflicting testimony like this, as a general matter, this is why we have courtrooms that requires non-hearsay testimony, so the jurors can assess the credibility and decide. A jury could decide that what Mr. Walker's saying is true, and what the police and the civilian witness saying is incorrect. That a jury, after hearing the testimony, could conclude exactly the opposite, that the civilian witness and the police were correct and Mr. Walker was incorrect. But these determinations, the Attorney General, I think, you can infer that they concluded that the civilian witness and the police were telling the correct version of events, that the police knocked and announced. And I think that is one of the facts that it supports the Attorney General's determination that that's for
this. Hold on 1 second.
Degree manslaughter charges, which are and one of the things she said before the announcement, as she was tearing up, is I just have a good feeling today. I have a feeling that, you know, justice will be served and we're going to get some good news. That was not the news that they were expecting. Breonna Taylor's mother, her two attorneys, said with us last week when we sat down with them that they were hoping for at least second-degree manslaughter charges, which are obviously much more heavier than the wanton, the wanton endangerment first degree. which could be 1 to 5 years if convicted. They were hoping for second-degree manslaughter. But I want to point out a couple of highlights to me in listening to that almost hour-long news conference. It was interesting that at the very beginning, Attorney General Daniel Cameron made the statement about not having a lot of the evidence, not having a camera, only having the cameras of the people that arrived after everything was finished, and really relying on these ballistic reports to show what happened. He said at least 3 times that Mattingly and Cosgrove were justified. Let me be clear, he said. Let me say that again. He talked about what he said were the facts and the evidence that pointed to what they did is what one would expect an officer to do if they were fired upon. Something else that I thought was interesting and sort of struck me was the question about how the African American community is taking this news. And this is the first time that we saw him really sort of pause and show emotion. He said, "I certainly understand the pain. I understand that as a black man, how painful this is." He said, "My heart breaks for the loss of Miss Taylor." And then he went on to say, "I think about my mother." And he kind of paused, and if she lost her child. So even though he talked about how it is important for him as the Kentucky Attorney General to separate emotion and only rely on the facts and only rely on the evidence, it was a moment where we saw him sort of get emotional about putting himself in Breonna Taylor's mother's shoes. Also, when asked about the makeup of his team, which he said comprised of 200 years of experience, the racial makeup of his team, he said, quote, "I'm a black man." He said, "I'm black, excuse me, so I speak for the entire department." A number of things that happened here that I think for the first time we really did get a chance to hear from him. I can tell you just in the last month or two, calling that office sometimes several times a day to see if there was any update or question, information, reporting rumors that had been circulating. I was kind of surprised to hear him open up, and also shocked to hear that he took as many questions as he did, just because the office has been so tight-lipped about this case. But he answered, questions for at least a half hour or so. And
all right, we done with that part. I want to say something to you guys. Again, I'm gonna put put all these links into the description box so you guys can read all you want on this. Because again, this is for me, because I already did the details, some of the details from the last video I done about Breonna Taylor. But this is about Kenneth. This is about Kenneth Walker. That's it. This is about him. And it's about how I feel like if black men and men in general don't protect their daughters from men like this is what's going to happen. And we in a society where Kenneth Walker is more protected than a man such as myself, a man that's actually handling his business lawfully, we're not protected by the black community. Kenneth Walker, males like him and women that make bad decisions, they're protected. It's like the more rational we are, the less people like you in the black American community. And I'm not just talking about the low level, I should say black people that are living in poverty. I'm talking about so-called boule black people, as well. I'm talking about them. And it's like, and if they're not, it's like they don't want to go into that route. Because I say it all the time, I know women that is very well educated that still deal with males like Kenneth Walker. There's nothing but trouble. And it's a lot of times they be over the age of 25, over the age of 30. But nobody want to talk about that. Nobody want to talk about how a solution can be progress from this trial. No one want to talk about that, and it's very sad. Everybody blaming the police. A lot of people could take blame. Who shot the first shot? Being as a witness, two witnesses, what have you, said that Breonna they heard who was the police. It was the police. They didn't have to announce it. They didn't have to. They didn't. He shot knowing that was the police. What was he hiding? And why would he put the girl he supposedly loved in danger? You know why? Because there's no love in the streets. Who's going to teach our daughters that? I got a 17-year-old daughter that, that I thank God that she the way she is. She's not running the streets. And hopefully it keeps her, hopefully she understands that she really don't need no man that's not gonna treat her well. She got her father. But what makes it bad that I made these multiple videos about this story is because Black people, celebrities, and everybody don't want to talk about Kenneth Walker. They don't want to talk about him. They don't want to talk about males like him. We want to promote these type of males, and we want to promote these type of females that's going to put yourself in a bad, dangerous way. And then you're going to try to tell us that the police is the ones that we really need to be looking at. Yeah, if you're a criminal, fuck yeah. But I just want to let people know, again, you can agree to disagree, or you can agree, or you can just disagree and just be disrespectful, but you better do it on your own terms. You can do all you want with that. But if you cannot be logical about the situation of men really stepping up to the plate to protect our kids, that's going to turn into young women and men. You can teach them all you possibly can, but I'm gonna tell you guys, as a man that I've been there, done that, especially when it comes to women, I can tell. Excuse me, guys. Let me hold on 1 second. I can tell a woman that grew up with a strong father figure than a woman that didn't even grow up with a real man in her life. I can tell. So anyway, I want to let you guys know, you can like and subscribe to the channel. This is the end of the video. I'm sorry, guys. It's the end of the video. Like and subscribe to the channel. And if you want to, cash at me, you can donate to the channel. You definitely can. It's a $ KYSIM 39. Again, $ KYSIM 39. And I will put a link in the description box on all the information that I got on the case, so you can read it yourself. Peace.